So this, I want to be cognizant of your time. I do know it's Sunday, but I want to talk about the top two mistakes that biz creators, I'm using that biz creator because if you are a founding business owner, you're a solopreneur, you're literally wearing all the hats and doing all the things. You are the brand and the business, but then you're also the creator. Okay. So I want to talk about the two main things, the two main mistakes that people make when it comes to trying to grow their business and trying to create effective content that if you really have to nail down. I'm not even going to hold any punches in this training. You have to nail this down. But these are the two mistakes that people don't spend enough time on, and then they wonder why they are struggling. All right. So make sure, again, if you are watching this, hit the hashtag live, hit the hashtag replay. If you're watching this on the replay, it will be up for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to take the video down, and then the replay will be up over on the YT. But let's just jump on into it. For those of you who are new, my name is Dana. I am a content visibility mentor. I am here to really help you create effective content. I really help purpose-driven brands create effective content so that they're not chasing the algorithm, so that you don't burn out creating 5 to 10 videos a day, and you don't chase the tips and tricks. Okay, it's really all about helping you create a core, no BS content strategy that will help you do 3 things each and every time. Number 1, increase the visibility and awareness for your brand, your sales and conversions, and build your community. When you have a dialed in content strategy that does those 3 things for you, your business will grow exponentially without you having to literally chase social media and chase content on your social media. So let's dive into the foundational 2 things that biz creators, the mistakes that they make. And the first and the most important is your messaging. Your messaging, your messaging, your messaging. It is not about you having a product or an offer or whatever it is that you do. It doesn't matter the industry that you're in, but it's not about having your product or your offer and then you're just going to put the link up and create content to convince people. This is the mistake that people make. This is why people are so confused on what to say, how to convince, etc. Your content is not about convincing, it's about starting a conversation. So the very first thing in starting that conversation, hey, happy Sunday. Thanks for dropping in. So the very first thing when we're talking about having a conversation is it's not about your link, it's not about what you offer. You have to get so dialed in on your brand messaging. Your messaging is what is going to get you to stand out on your social media across all of your social media. So let's dive in because this is the thing that creators and biz owners don't do enough of. They literally don't stand in their unique messaging. So when they show up on social media, people basically there's a value comparison now, right? So Cynthia just hopped on. So Cynthia is a clothing designer, an amazing clothing designer. If you guys haven't seen her clothing designs, go check her out. But an amazing clothing designer. But everyone is a designer to some degree, right? There are so many different designer brands, etc., on social media. So people don't understand why her brand is really for them if we don't create messaging. So for this mini training, I want you to be able to answer 3 questions to help you stand out in your messaging. Number 1, what do you do differently than anybody else in the industry? Why did you start this business in the first place? That's the first thing. Like stand in it and say why you started the business. Answer that question. Second question you have to answer when it comes to your messaging is it's in thinking about your audience. What is happening in the industry right now for a unique audience that you're trying to target that you wholeheartedly disagree with and can't stand? What is happening in the industry that is against your audience that you know they deserve better? So I'm going to use Cynthia as an example. If it's clothing, it's certain clothing designs, or maybe it's a certain fashion style. Maybe it's, keeping women of a certain age or a certain figure size in a box, right? And you disagree with that in the industry and you created the business and designs to break the mold, right? Say that, define that, and write that down. Then the third thing that you have to be able to answer for your unique messaging is what is all the noise and nonsense that is happening right now that has your audience confused, that just ticks you off so much. Like when you see it happening, you're just like, it just makes you angry. Answer those 3 questions. When you answer those three questions succinctly, this is going to literally give you the foundation for your messaging and your unique messaging statement. This statement is going to be your North Star. A lot of you already have it, you know it, but you're not communicating it in your content. So I'm going to give you my North Star, my unique positioning statement as an example to help you get started when you are able to answer these three questions. First is, I help purpose-driven women cut through the noise and BS of the traditional tip and trick social media content nonsense. The Position, Publish, and Profit framework helps entrepreneurs get more from their content in less time so that they can see real results from their business, so they can stop chasing the algorithm, they can stop wasting their time and start increasing their sales and connecting with their customers. That's it. That is my unique positioning. That is my North Star. Okay. So this is what I want you to think about. So Cynthia's definitely against ageism for me. So that would be your unique positioning. So answer those three questions and then come up with your unique positioning message, your unique positioning statement. Define it. All right. And when you define it, I know you can probably already do it, but be able to define it. The second part to this strategy when it comes to your unique messaging, you guys, is being able to show up now and talk about that. A lot of you, I've seen some of your content, not even if you've asked me to audit, but I follow some of you. So when I look at your content, there is nothing in your content that shows me what's unique about you. Like, I don't know why you stand out. I don't know your unique value. I don't know that you're against potentially ageism. I don't know what you do differently than anybody else. And if I don't know that, that means your audience doesn't know that. And if they don't know that, they don't know why your offer and what you do is for them. And here is the sad part. Because you guys are not spending the time defining your unique messaging and using that as your North Star, you're literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table every time you create a video. You're putting yourself in the negative when you create a video because your audience is scrolling, looking for you, right? Looking for a brand that believes what they believe, looking for a brand that is against that too. But when you show up looking like everyone else, they just go, okay, well, keep scrolling, right? So the second part to this framework is you have to start talking about that in your content. And here is how you do it. Write this down. If you're not able to write it down because maybe you're driving or something like that, stay focused on the road. The replay, I'm going to leave it up for a couple of hours here in the Facebook group, and then I'm going to post it on the YT so that way you can binge and watch it as much as you want. But the second part to that is once you know your North Star and your unique positioning statement, your content needs to stop showing people what's in your website. Show up talking about the things that you disagree with in the industry. Tell people why you started this business. Tell people what you can't stand in the industry. This is going to attract your audience. Remember, I talked about the first three. Your content should do three things. It should always increase brand awareness and increase your visibility. You're going to do that by telling people why you're here, honey, what you disagree with, and what you do differently. This is going to be the thing that gets people to go, oh my gosh, I've been looking for that brand, that offer, that thing, right? So that's going to get people to stop. The second thing is once you get them to stop and you want to start moving them to sales, you want every piece of content that you create to increase visibility, increase your sales, and build your community. Remember those three things. That is what content should do. And when you have a dialed in strategy. So in order to get people to understand why your offer is for them so that you can see more sales, we are not here to convince. We're here to have conversations. And how you have conversations, you guys, is in knowing the problem and knowing the symptom that your audience is up against. So you already know, like Cynthia's defined, like she's against ageism and she doesn't believe, the typical fashion tactics or what have you, right? That are up against her particular audience. So as a result to that, Cynthia, you should be able to define the symptoms and the things that your audience is struggling with. For example, they probably can't go to the store and find a particular look or style, right? They probably are only able to shop in a certain section, or there's a certain every season there's like this. I'm not great with fashion, but you get what I'm saying, right? They're stuck in the certain things that they can buy and find. There are certain materials that are not flattering, colors. There's no bold styles, right? These are all the symptoms and things that they struggle with, right? So when you create content that is focused on the problem that they have and a symptom of shopping sucks. They hate shopping. They don't feel comfortable and confident when they shop. They're always stuck in like these stores that they hate. When you show up in your content talking about those symptoms, in order to increase your sales, you want to talk about the symptom, right? Because that's what they're going through on a day to day, and then give them solutions, right? Give them solutions of potentially how to style themselves, how to look for better fabrics, how to whatever, right? I'm not a fashion person. But insert your business there. You want to talk about the symptom and then give them solutions. And when you give them the solutions, first off, show up giving value. Like, don't expect people to automatically go to your link, but show up giving value. Help people solve their symptom first. And that will help to build your authority. This is what's going to get them to engage in the comments. I can promise you that, because they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with this. I feel like you're in my head. How did you know? All right. And there's a whole other strategy I can teach you around that. But once you get that engagement, you're going to get followers. Followers is a huge touch point showing that your audience wants to know more. They may not buy from you. They may not go to the website, but that engaging comment that validates your symptom-based content is a huge touch point. The follow is a huge touch point. And then you start giving value around why you design clothes the way that you do and the types of clothes that will help them solve their problem. That is how you build authority. And this is how you get people to trust you. And this is how you get people to the website. These are the two things that I see every single new biz creator or people right now, even in this community, struggling with. Not having that unique positioning, not understanding the real problem that they solve, and not understanding the symptoms that their audience are going through as a result of that problem. All right. Just showing people what's in your website is not going to do it. Just giving tips and tricks around things that people could probably Google is not going to do it. These are the two unique differentiators that get you to stand out and get you in your audience's head so that they want to not only buy from you, but will buy again and again and will tell their friends about your business.